Good evening and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. I'm Katie Looper, leading our news tonight. High winds have been hammering the Fairbanks area with gusts close to 40 miles per hour. There have been numerous reports of power lines down with electrical arcing also occurring. The winds are expected to diminish this evening. Mike Schultz will have more later during the weather. When the Fairbanks School Board meets next Tuesday, it will be looking to changing the acting superintendent's title. Karen Gaborik may be moved to the interim superintendent position. Gaborik was formerly the assistant superintendent of secondary schools. She has been in the current position since the board placed Pete Lewis on administrative leave. He was later told that he was being terminated. State troopers say the active search for the 48-year-old Sharon Buis has been called off. Despite the best efforts of searchers, no new leads have been found since discovering Buis's vehicle May 24th. It was reported that day that the Juneau woman had gone missing. She was supposed to meet another person for a group hike on the Mountain Roberts Trail, but didn't show. Ground and air searches failed to find any sign of her. An unmanned aircraft from the University of Alaska Fairbanks assisted firefighting efforts at the Funny River fire near Kenai. Friday, a team from the university's Unmanned Aircraft Center flew a Scan Eagle aircraft over the fire. The aircraft, equipped with infrared image sensors and cameras, found about 15 hot spots within the fire perimeter. The Scan Eagle was also able to map the fire boundaries more accurately because it can fly at a lower altitude than manned aircraft. The Scan Eagle, which is launched via catapult and landed with a catch wire, will be used to identify threats to people and structures, as well as identify more hotspots and fire boundaries from an altitude of 1,200 to 2,500 feet. Meanwhile, the Alaska State Troopers are supporting the Alaska Interagency Incident Management Team with the Funny River Road Fire. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, with the Assistant of State Alaska Division of Forestry, are investigating the cause of the blaze. The public can contact the Alaska State Trooper Dispatch Center in Soldotna to provide tips or information they may have regarding the fire. Troopers will be collecting the information and turning it over to the investigating agencies. A 31-year-old Delta Junction man has been charged with assault, eluding, reckless driving, providing false information, and violating probation after a car chase near Wasilla. Alaska State Troopers say Jeremy Joel Fish was subdued with a stun gun and taken into custody. Troopers late Thursday afternoon stopped Fish's vehicle for an equipment violation and suspected drug activity. Troopers say he gave him a fake identity card and fled. A 20-minute chase culminated with Fish fleeing on foot. He was hit with the stun gun and arrested. Troopers say Fish nearly hit an officer with his vehicle, nearly rammed a patrol car, drove recklessly, and put the passenger in fear of being killed. Fish is being held without bail at a jail in Palmer. Local residents have commented online about reporting of Juneau growing bigger than the city of Fairbanks, which would make Fairbanks the third biggest city in Alaska. The discussion stems from Alaska Dispatch article titled "Who's on Third?" Fairbanks bumped from number 2 population spot. As the article explains, Juneau's population includes their entire borough, whereas Fairbanks only counts those living inside the city limits. A state official says the two figures aren't comparable.
Juneau and Fairbanks, the city of Fairbanks, have both been a little bit over 30,000 for several years. Fairbanks, the city, isn't growing so much anymore, but just outside of Fairbanks and into the borough is still growing, and a lot of the population growth that happens in Fairbanks is happening outside of the city.
The state estimates there were nearly 100,000 people in the Fairbanks North Star borough in July 2013. Their new numbers will be released in January. When we come back, the university opened their Large Animal Research Station today, and the Alaska Public Lands Information Center gave a lesson on how to use a GPS. Stay with us. And welcome back. A good crowd was on hand today at the open house for the Large Animal Research Station on Yankovich Road. Here's more on that story. Today, families are crowding at the Large Animal Research Station to take a closer look at new baby reindeer. They even had a competition for naming the newborns. Attendants were not only able to see
fun.
the muskox, caribou, and reindeer babies, but had the chance to get their faces painted, climb on tractors, take guided tours, and enjoy some free cookies. We talked to some of the participants and asked them what they were looking forward to when coming to this open house.
The baby animals, probably more than anything, and just getting out with the family. We live pretty close nearby, and so we rode our bikes. It was pretty fun.
For me, it was just the whole experience. We parked at the university and took the bus out here, and just seeing the animals.
Well, we're students at the university doing our undergrad in wildlife.
Yeah, we're both in the Wildlife Society, the student chapter.
So we were contacted by some folks here asking if we'd like to help out at an event, especially anything with animals we're always interested in. So, yeah.
We're really thankful that you guys had an open house here today, and we're super excited to go climb around on the tractors and go and see some muskox and caribou, and just have a good time.
This unique farm was a popular venue today, and many agreed it was a fascinating and exciting experience. I'm Katie Looper, reporting. Today, antique car owners showed off their vehicles at the Vernon Nash Car Show. Vehicles dating back to the 1800s were on display at the event at the Carlson Center. 70 vehicles, all makes and models, will be available for viewing again Sunday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The show is put on by the Vernon Nash Auto Club in Fairbanks. Co-chair John Binder says that the main spotlight for this year's showcase are the various Studebaker vehicles brought in by the club members.
And I do believe Gene's used to be the Studebaker dealer here in town, and he sold many Studebakers. They're actually all over the place. We have Studebakers here all the way from 1922 all the way to 1962.
With summer in bloom, so too is the fishing season in Alaska's interior. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game has been busy stocking local lakes with several species of fish for anglers to enjoy catching. There are over 45 stocked waters in the Fairbanks region. Staff with the Ruth Barnett Sport Fish Hatchery and other fish and game staff have performed over 88 stocking events in 35 area lakes and ponds since May 12th. Over 102,000 catchable fish have been stocked, including over 96,000 rainbow trout, 4,200 Arctic char, and more than 1,900 Arctic grayling. Travis Heyer says crews will plan about 40,000 more catchables by summer's end. Waters from Delta Junction and Indiana are stocked as part of the program with one primary goal in mind.
It's definitely to enhance sport fishing opportunities. It allows people to get out and experience some of the lakes and provide an opportunity that's readily accessible. We also do some remote fisheries that provide people with a little more solitude if they want to get out and maybe not go to the really popular roadside lakes. We have some lakes that are a bit off the highway and you can walk to, or take an ATV or something that provides some diversity there.
In celebration of National Get Outdoors Day, the Alaska Public Lands Information Center invited the public to come learn all about geocaching. Experts were there to show participants how to use a GPS and how to find the caches located around the Fairbanks area. This is the first year for this event. Stations were set up to teach interested public on how to use global positioning system equipment. One official went on to explain how geocaching works.
Some people describe geocaching as a big game of hide and seek. Caches are containers that have trinkety type things and a logbook in them that people will hide in different places, and then you use a GPS unit with latitude and longitude coordinates to find the container. People have a lot of fun looking for caches. There's a pretty big caching community here in Fairbanks, and they actually helped us out quite a bit putting this event together today. They gave us some help with advice, some training for our staff, and then helping us figure out the logistics.
Joe Cook is up next with Saturday Sports. Who could endure a test of torture? Find out that, plus highlights from the MAC baseball and game and local racing. Sports is next.
Hello Interior Alaska, Joe Cook here with your weekend sports, and we start with a morning run. A great way to start the day in the spring and summertime. The Pump House Restaurant was the site for the start and finish location of the two-way torture test. Two-person teams take off in opposite directions to complete a 13.1-mile race. In less than an hour and a half, finishers approached the tape. The top men's finisher was Jacob Lindis, coming in at 1 hour, 22 minutes and 46 seconds. And about 2 minutes later, Ted Alder was the runner-up in 1 hour, 25 minutes and 13 seconds. The first woman to finish was Dava Flaherty, who was third overall in 1 hour, 27 minutes and 49 seconds. The unofficial team winners for the duos who endured the torture together was Alder and Dana Fier. She was coming off a win at the Annihilator last weekend. The top dudes for the two-men teams were Team Guy on a Buffalo. Interesting name there. The overall winner, Lindis, talks about winning this race, even though it was his first time on the trail.
I'd never been on this course or even this part of Fairbanks before, so I kind of just took it easy a little bit up the first hill, and then once I was pretty sure there weren't too many more big hills coming, I kind of let my legs roll it in, and I had a lot of fun.
Well, my partner and I didn't know which direction we were going to go until about 5 minutes before. We couldn't decide. So it was basically a rock, paper, scissors, and we decided to go our route. I took the gradual uphill route and then screamed down the backside of Chena Ridge. That's pretty fun.
Rising junior Tim Cherry of the Alaska Rifle Team did more than represent UAF in Germany this week. He was representing the United States. Cherry competed in the first International Shooting Sport Federation Junior Cup in Seoul, Germany this week. Cherry was the only American in the shooting competition that had shooters from Finland, Russia, Austria, and Denmark. Cherry placed 6 out of 66 shooters in the 50-meter three-position event. He finished 27th in the 50-meter prone discipline out of 70 shooters and placed 44th in a 94-person field in the 10-meter air rifle event. Cherry, the national small bore champion, will shoot for the U.S. World Championship team this summer. The soccer season has ended for two of our interior teams. Earlier today, the Lathrop girls lost to Diamond 3-2. Back and forth the game as Lathrop was up 2-1 at the half thanks to Alexis Shipman and Caitlin Spencer goals in the first half. After trailing 0-1 early on, the Lynx completed the comeback though as Hannah Sale, she scored twice for Diamond, and Mela Likens' goal was the game winner at the 76th minute. Lathrop finishes 6th in the state and won 10 total games this season. The West Valley boys lost 2-1 to Juneau last night. The Crimson Bears never trailed as the Wolfpack were eliminated from the state tournament. West Valley finished their year at 9-5-2 overall. And last night on the Diamond, two crosstown rivals collided for the MAC Baseball Championship, the West Valley Wolfpack and Lathrop Malamute. It was West Valley senior night as 4 seniors were recognized before the game. Pitching duel between senior Casey Lewandowski and Lathrop's Terrell Ford. Terrell Ford, he was hot, striking out 4 straight batters to start this game, but the Wolfpack, they got it going behind a bases-loaded hit from senior Jordan Rodenberger, driving in 2 runs from West Valley. They led 4-1 at the end of 4 innings. Trent Shue playing hurt as well, first baseman for West Valley, gutting it out. However, errors would hurt the Wolfpack, and it would actually help Lathrop come back. Cam Walker's triple for an RBI capped a 4 spot in the top of the 5th. The go-ahead run comes home to give Lathrop a 5-4 lead. The Wolfpack committed 8 errors in this game. Lathrop got some insurance runs in the top of the 6th and close out this game winning 8-5. West Valley's only losses have been to Lathrop this year, and they will go to state as the 2nd seed from the MAC. But head coach Tyler Hollister knows Lathrop's three-peat as MAC champions is sweet. To that tournament.
Too bad. This is what we've been working for. This is what we expected to happen. This is what we planned for. All those days in the gym, these are the days that make those days in the gym worth it.
You know, we really put it together. We have a potential that we got to live up to, and I feel like we did that tonight. You know, we played our game well.
You don't win a ball game when you make 8 errors. You know, we hit the ball well. We had, good pitching, and, we just made mistakes, and that's how we beat ourselves.
We just got to keep going hard every game. I mean, we want to be the best in town, so that's what we just did.
Now giving you a heads up on an event that's happening next weekend at West Valley High School. How about some flag football for cash? I might have to get my old cleats out. The West Valley Booster Program is holding a 7-on-7 cash flag football tournament. The winner gets $1,000. It's $350 for a whole team to register and $40 for individual signups. As a free agent, proceeds will go to the West Valley Football Program. In order to participate, you have to be 18 years of age and not participate in college athletics. It will be a double elimination tournament at West Valley High School. For more info, go to wolfpackfootball.org. The story's on our Web Center 11 website. It was opening night at the Mitchell Raceway last evening and a chance for racers to begin stacking points towards a 2014 championship. The crowd was treated to roaring engines and flying dirt This 5-car class is spun their wheels and look to make an opening night statement. The mini bombers, dollar stock cars, sportsmen, modified and sprint cars ran hard through the first heat, setting up main event battles to cap the night. The modified main winner was Scott Sluka in the blue and bright 55 car in the dollar stock class. This was the number 11 of Dan Holtry taking the main checkered, but he finds himself trailing Joe Heath by 1 point thanks to the early heat wins. The sportsman class main event went to the red car number 67 driven by John Clarkson, but he's tied for first in points at 71 with Darren Peterson. The sprint class was dominated all night by veteran John McDowell in the 78 car. He holds a 6-point lead over Jay Coghill after night 1. The track will be back in action tonight for more racing, including the Legends cars from the North Pole Speedway and Gladiators class. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me on a Saturday. Your full weather forecast is coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our Saturday newscast. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about weather. And as Katie told you earlier, it's been a really wild day across the interior. Strong winds gusting as high as 40 miles per hour, bringing with it the most dust I've seen in a long time. And also, of course, we had power lines down too, all being brought in by this area of low pressure circulating here, moving slowly across to the northeast from the southwest. That combining with a little bit of high pressure sitting over Canada. The two of them brought our winds together and also brought some showers and even thunderstorms. Our first thunder of the year this afternoon. I heard some of that while I was outside working. And we're looking at this slowly to die down. The good news is this system will move through pretty rapidly and give us diminishing winds, which is good news. As far as our almanac goes, their normal high today is 67, the normal low 44, record high 84 in 1958, record low 30 in 1933. Sunrise and sunset working out to 20 hours and 33 minutes of daylight, a gain of 6 minutes from yesterday. And as far as what's going on across the rest of the state, cloudy skies over southeast Alaska, across the Gulf of Alaska also. A few showers over the southwest part of the state in association with that area of low pressure. Cloudy skies up and down the west coast all the way to the north slope and over the Fort Yukon area, partly cloudy skies there. Lower 48 weather tonight, a lot of interesting weather happening across the Denver area, right on into Minneapolis. Very, very strong thunderstorms, heavy rainfall, a lot of flooding around the Fort Collins area, and also some storms still hanging around the Gulf Coast states. As far as what lies ahead for the rest of this week and early next week, as you can see, we're looking at gusty winds coming in from the southwest, bringing some very warm air over much of the area, and strong thunderstorms once again across the Minneapolis area, and also strong warm temperatures across much of Southern California. Back to the hot temperatures there and the possible fire dangers again. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections, chance of snow and Barrow, rain showers in Nome and also at Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at rain shower opportunities developing by the afternoon hours for all three areas, Healy, Delta Junction, and Fairbanks. While over southeast Alaska, pretty good. Mainly cloudy skies at Juneau with partly cloudy at Ketchikan. While over the southwest part of the state, looking at scattered showers for Cold Bay and Bethel, and rain expected for the Kodiak Island region. And if you're heading on down the Anchorage area, it looks like a real sloppy day across all of that area. Rain is expected at Anchorage, Homer, and Valdez. And here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. For the Fairbanks area, high winds will be diminishing. If they haven't already, we're expecting those to diminish rapidly. 41 degrees for the overnight low. Still some rain showers in the area. And tomorrow's forecast looks like a better chance with some rain showers in the afternoon, and temperatures definitely cooler, 59 degrees. Now, the extended forecast is calling for a chance of showers right on through Monday and Tuesday, and then cloudy skies for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and midday or mid-temperatures, or I should say temperatures in the mid-60s across the 5-day period. Also, overnight lows in the mid-40s too. So hopefully this wind, like I said, the most important part is it's dying down. It will not be giving us any more problems. But boy, what a day.
Yeah,
I have not seen dust like that in a long time.
I was totally shocked today. It seemed so nice out when I was over at the Animal Research Station.
Came up fast.
Then I came back here and it was totally windy.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty amazing, that's for sure.
It looks like the races at the Mitchell Raceway. Sometimes the dust can build up as the cars are going around the
track.
Oh, yeah, so that's what it looks like.
Yeah, well, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at western11.com.
Once again, a reminder, if you see power lines down, just tell somebody about them. Don't even go near them or anything like that. And like I said, the good news is the winds are diminishing. That's good news. All right. That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night. We'll see you back here again Monday.
Good night.